Hello everyone, my name is the Rumpskin, and today I decided that I was going to make a Yu-Gi-Oh video. I'm not like a big fan, but I do play this game. Not like super like great at it or anything. I don't like go to like the tournaments and shit, but like I play it I play it like almost every day. And today I decided that I was going to do my a top 10 of the cards that I think are quote-unquote broken that aren't on the forbidden list in any way. What I mean by that are cards that aren't banned, limited, or semi-limited. So cards that are at 3, you can play to your heart's content. And with that being said, I'm just gonna hop right into it. Up here, I have cards that it's like honorable mentions and stuff like that. Actual crap's like down here, but whatever. Honorable mentions. I try to make things like I want to make it like this like balance. Like I want to have a mixture of everything. Try to have trap spells. Unfortunately, there aren't like a lot of like traps that are like broken. So I had to think out of the box, I guess. But yeah, honorable mentions. There can be only one. Each player can only control one monster of each type on the field, and if you control more than one, then you send them to the graveyard until you have one. This card is stupid because it's just a very good. It's very anti-meta, and it's a very good floodgate to where all the meta decks in Yu-Gi-Oh, the only monsters they have are monsters that are the same type. Like Dragon Link 6 are popular, and the only monsters they have are dragons, right? Or like Dino. Like you can't summon Dino monsters, which is hilarious. Kind of just like it just shuts down the entire like everything they want to do because they can't summon more than one of those monsters. And normally, to get monster effects, gotta get them on the field. Some of the time, not all the time, but most of the time. Something else, summon limit, kind of the same thing where you only summon twice per turn. Stupid in the fact that decks now are very combo heavy. You know, it's like summon this, search this to add to the hand, and to the graveyard, so to summon this from my hand, and then search for my deck. So something from the deck, it's just like it's really dumb, and this kind of just craps on all that. Evenly matched is a see. I don't. I was gonna put it like down here because I thought this card's really good, and I don't think it should be at 3. But I don't think it's not run. I don't see it like enough to where I can be like, oh, this card is broken. But this card is it's really good. At the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can make your own opponent banish cards from the field face down so they control the same number of cards you do. So if you have no cards on the field and your opponent, let's say they have like 4, when you activate this card from your hand, they're only gonna have 1 card on the field on their side of the field, and that's just like hilarious because it avoids all of like, unless it gets negated, which isn't like it can get negated, but if it doesn't get negated, then your opponent is they're built to board up for nothing, and it avoids a lot of like shenanigans, whereas like cards that can be targeted destroyed because doesn't destroy it, your opponent just banishes them, you know. Now Fogblade, this card isn't like, I don't see Phantom Menace enough, but this card is really annoying. I just hate this card so much. It's just really annoying. After this effect by targeting one effect monster in the field and get the face of the monster's effects, it's just really stupid. And if this card, you can banish it to special summon a Phantom Knight monster. It's just, I don't see it enough to where it's like, oh yeah, this card like super broken. That's why it's honorable mention. But I've seen it enough to where it's just like I hate playing against it. Boot Sector Launch. This card's stupid because special summoning 2 monsters for free is just dumb in any deck. Yeah, I think that's just enough. And Dragon Link is just so strong. I hate it so much. This card is just stupid. You shouldn't be like, it's just free plus for no reason. Lair of Darkness. Freaking all faces monsters in the field become dark, and once per turn, if you attribute a monster, you control to activate a card effect. You contribute 1 dark monster your opponent controls. So basically, this card is used for like this Lilith shenanigans. I can't spell. Hello. Yeah. So basically, what you do is you use Lilith, and you bring out traps like these virus cards, right? And you essentially just tribute, and they all require dark monsters to tribute. So what you do is you basically just activate this, get Lilith on the field, and tribute your opponent's monsters. And it's just a really strong form of disruption. Because instead of getting rid of your monsters, you're getting rid of your opponent's monsters. And fucking go over their hands and their field. And the cards that they draw. It's really powerful. I don't see it enough to where I think to where I'd be like, oh yeah, it needs to be like nerf. But every time I run into it, it's always a challenge. Necro Rally, this is just Floodgate. Negate defect. Oh, all graveyard monsters gain 500 attack defense. Cards in the graveyard cannot be banished. So first of all, that's really good. Cards in the graveyard can be banished. That's just good because a lot of the cards banished in the graveyard, like some of them activate their effects, and that just stops that. Negate any effect that move a card in the graveyard to a different place. So a lot of the cards, but like this, special summon from the graveyard, and this just shuts all that down completely. It's a really good card. Fucking Inferno Tempest. It's funny because I played a deck last night where a guy decked me out because he fucking destroyed me with this card. He had some shenanigans where he fucking soul absorption. I don't even get the point because he had soul absorption. He had two of them. He fucking pot of desires, and he just banished. I was playing Dark Danger, right? And I had a bunch of cards on the field with Plasma Attack. And he had, like, I think he had he summoned a Gren Manju, and I negated it with I negated its effect with a Felgren because it had so much attack. I had like 11,000 attack, and I had to, or else I was gonna die. He just attacked everything I had. And I negated its effect, and then he attacked my monster, and he activated Inferno Tempest, and then he decked me out, and I lost. So yeah, this card's stupid. It's very niche, so it's not gonna get banned ever, but this card's just dumb. Banishing, when you take 3 more battle damage from one attack, you can activate this effect. Remove all monsters in each player's deck and graveyard from play. This is really stupid. This is broken. This is horrible. It's just so niche that it's never going to get touched because no one plays that bullshit. But I got fucked over by it, and it made me angry. So yeah, honorable mention. Droll, my opinion, maybe besides like fucking, I don't know. When it comes to hand traps, I feel like its objective was the best one. I just think Droll was very good. If a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand, except during the draw phase, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. For the rest of this turn, cards cannot be added from either player's main deck to the hand. So basically, what this is you can't search cards anymore. And the whole entire point of Yu-Gi-Oh is to set up your board to make it as beefy and chunky as possible, to make it as beefy and unbreakable as possible. And when you activate Droll, your turn kind of just ends, right? Because you can't get the pieces you need to set up your field. Your turn just ends, and it's a really good card. It won't get touched because you need hand traps in the game, so you don't just auto lose. But this card kind of just like it makes your opponent auto lose because their turn just ends, right? You can't really do anything if you can't add cards to your hand. Like it kind of just, it's very anti Yu-Gi-Oh. I think it's the best hand trap. Besides, like, I don't know, like Imperm, probably. I don't know. All subjective, but yeah, I have a barrier statue of the Stormwinds because this is just stupid. I play a lot of like those Mist Valley like decks where it's like they summon a bunch of fucking wind monsters, and then at the end of the turn they always somehow get this card out. And I chose this one because yeah, like wind monsters are just like you don't typically play unless you're playing like fucking like wind witches, which no one does. And I just decided to pick one. I mean, it's kind of indicative, like kind of represents like the whole like statue like thing. Cause I've seen someone did it to me with Drytrons, I think, where they got out the light one. Where they're all the same effect. You can't summon a monster except the attribute of this monster. Neither player can. And they summon, I think he was playing Drytrons, and they summoned this one where you can't summon anything but light monsters. But it's just representing the whole thing. This card is stupid. kind of just like, you can't do anything. You can't summon, if you're not running the same type, or the same attribute, excuse me, as what your opponent's running, you just kind of lose, because they can do whatever they want. You can't do anything. For extra deck stuff, Auroradon, Stupid Extender. Every time it comes out, it's just free plus. Just link climbing, just crap like that. It's not broken, but it's just annoying. It's just like, if we return ever end, can you please just stop? And Crystron Halki Fibrax. This card is, it's not as strong as it used to be, but it's still very strong. I don't think it's like busted, but it is very strong. I was gonna put it on the list down below, but I wanted to put something else on the list because well, I'll get into what. Yeah, this card thinks someone you can summon one level 3 or lower tuner monster from your hand or deck in defense position, so you can't activate its effects. And during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, quick effect, you can banish this card. You control, special summon one tuner synchro monster from your extra deck. This is treated as synchro summon. So basically, what you want to do with this is, during your opponent's turn, summon a really strong synchro monster, like like Crystal Wing, I guess. I can't spell. Like Crystal Wing. This card's really good. By summon I can't think right now, but basically you get out a synchro tuner, and then you just use that to synchro into like bigger boss monsters, right? And it's just really strong, especially on your opponent's turn, because you don't have to, unless they negate it, you're gonna get a big powerful monster on their field during their turn, and it's just really good. But yeah, any of that, all that honorable mentions, really good cards, but most of these won't get touched. Now for the juicy bits. Okay, so number 10. This is one of my favorite cards. Junk Speeder. This card is a level 5 synchro monster. It requires one synchro tuner plus one non-tuner. Standard. This card synchro summon, you can push summon as many synchron tuner monsters as possible with different levels from your deck in defense position. You cannot push summon monsters in the extra deck except synchro monsters to turn you activate this effect. So basically, it has a second effect that isn't used. I don't use it. And I love synchros. I started playing, or I got into Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I watched like the old show and shit, like, you know. But I was really into 5Ds because the whole synchro thing was cool to me. And this card, this card is just like really powerful. To be able to summon five monsters to your field is just stupid. You shouldn't be able to do that with anything. Something like to get that much advantage from one card is just really dumb. This card will never get banned or touched. I mean, it might, but synchros are like super popular. Like synchron decks, it nerfs it because it's a synchron tuner. You need specifically a synchron tuner, so like junk synchron, something stupid like that. But yeah, it'll never get touched because it's not like used like at all. But every time I use this card, I can I'd show you, but I don't want to leave because all this stuff would disappear. I'm not looking for it. But this deck right here, this pure synchron crap, yeah, I had this card in it, and the point of it is to just go into Quasar, and you can do that very easily with this card. Even though Quasar isn't that good, but it's just fun to play. Number 9, I wanted to represent traps in some way, so I decided to just pick the Eldritch traps because they're just so annoying. Not this one specifically. I mean, this is probably like the best one, I think, because it especially when one zombie monster from your deck. Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. Special summon one zombie monster from your deck or graveyard, but if you control no Eldritch monsters, you can only special summon Eldritch monsters with this effect. And for the rest of this turn, after this card is resolved, you can special summon monsters and zombie monsters. You can banish this card from your graveyard to one golden land spoil trap directly from your deck. And it's not really just this card, but the whole Eldritch, just like the archetype, is just really annoying to play against. It's like the meme where it's just like, oh, what's the turn? Or it's like, oh, okay, it's your turn. You mean our turn, right? And it's just crap like that, just stupid. It's really strong, really annoying to play against. They won't get touched because the whole archetype is centered around trap cards, but I just hate playing against them. With that being said, moving on. Number 8, This is kind of like cheating. I have 2 cards here. Ultimate Necro Terrariano and Double Evolution Pill. Ultimate Necro Terrariano kind of a normal summoner set. Must first be special summoned by from your hand by bench 2 monster type monsters from your graveyard. Once returned during either player's main phase, you can destroy 1 monster in your hand or field, and if you do, change all face-up monsters your opponent controls to face number defense position. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a monster, if this card you can put damage 1,000 damage to your opponent. If you do, send the defense position monster to the graveyard. So this card's one of the strongest boss monsters like ever. The whole point of dinos is to destroy your monsters, or not necessarily destroy them, but send them to the graveyard. And the first effect of destroying one of your cards in your hand field just gives you plus. And the fact that if it does that, it has a Book of Eclipse effect. Oh yeah, Book of Eclipse. Change all face-up monsters on the field to face down defense position. It's just stupid because it can wipe your board. It can literally wipe your entire field, and you take damage every time it does this because it's gonna destroy all your monsters unless you can negate its effect, which typically like more often than not you're not gonna be able to negate this. And I have Double Evolution Pill. Banish 1 dinosaur monster and 1 non-dinosaur monster from your hand or graveyard. Special summon 1 level 7 or higher dinosaur monster from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, which is basically just like goes hand in hand with this one. Because dinos are so strong, and they're so consistent that this card won't get hit. Because Terrariano won't get hit because it's not like unbeatable, but this card's stupid. This card's retarded. Just to be able to summon a monster, like this strong monster, for basically free. Not necessarily, but it's essentially for free because a lot of the times, once this card's on the field, like your opponent's not gonna get rid of it. It's super strong, and you can just like I can't even explain it. This card's dumb. I hate it. But yeah, this was 8, so yeah, kind of cheating, but they kind of went hand in hand, I felt. And that being said, moving on, number 7, Alistair. Fuck this card. Normal summon Alistair. You negate it. They always have Invocation or Magical Meltdown. Stupid. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and target confusion monster you control. Get 2,000 attack defense to the end of this turn. And this card's normal summon or flip face up. You can add 1 Invocation from your deck to your hand. This card has been good since it came out. I don't think I'm not 100% sure. I don't have data for this, but a lot of decks just like use this engine, the invoked engine, because they have a lot of they support a lot of things. Like I see it with a lot recently. I've been seeing it with like Dogmatics. I've been seeing those a lot recently online, and it's super consistent. You know, normal summon Alistair, get Invocation, you fucking negate it, and if you negate it, like they're not gonna be able to do much if this is the only play they have in their hand, right? But so many times have I negated this effect, and they just have fucking Invocation anyway, or Magical Meltdown anyway, and it's just or they activate Magical Meltdown, and it's like, okay, you don't get it, Alistair. Okay, I'll know some Alistair. Okay, negate Alistair. Oh, it doesn't matter. I have Invocation in my hand anyway. It happens so many times where I just get annoyed by it. This card won't get banned or anything, but I think it should be limited at least. Just the same, like I said before. These cards should probably like this card should probably be at 1. Double Evolution Pill should be definitely at 1. Alistair should definitely be at 1 at the minimum. These cards are stupid. They're just so consistent that they shouldn't be like. Consistency is like. I'm not saying consistency is like broken, but like when something is so good that there's no it's just like there's no downside to ever having it. You can just so easily do what you want to do. I feel like it should be like hit a little bit. Like has Alistair ever been on the ban list? I don't think it has. Yeah. Being said, hate this card. Moving on. 6. Access Code Talker. This is just FTK, the card. To link 4. 2+ effect monsters. and your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's effect activations. First of all, first effect busted. Cards should never, no card should have this effect. This card right here, this effect right here, you can't respond to it. Yeah, this effect is broken. No card should have it. It ruined it. It means it's just free, right? Like you can't stop these. Spell speed 4 effects are stupid. Nothing should have it. You should be able to respond, to at least respond to anything your opponent does. And when you can't do that, I just feel like it's just just anti the game. Like it's anti Yu-Gi-Oh. Like yeah, you just can't play against this card. But stupid. Anyway, if this card is linked summon, you can target one link monster that was used as material for its link summon. This card gains attack equal to that monster's link rating times 1,000. You can banish one link monster from your field or graveyard, destroy one card your opponent controls. Also, for the rest of this turn, you could not banish monsters with that same attribute to activate this effective access code talker. So pretty much what this card does is you just make its attack really beefy, banish another really strong a high link monster in your graveyard, and just attack your opponent for game. Because you can clear their board to the effect. It's banishing. And is it target? It doesn't target. Yeah, it doesn't target, so it gets over that. So like it wouldn't get over Dragoon, and I'll talk about that fucking piece of shit later. But yeah, you can't target. I mean, this doesn't target, and it really just clears your opponent's board, and you attack for game. And it's really easy to pull off. It's happened to me plenty of times where I'm just like, oh well, I can't negate its effects. I can't really. They kind of just destroy my shit. And I can't can't do anything against it, and it's just dumb. The spell speed 4 shit should not exist. You should be able to respond to anything your opponent does in this game, and the fact that you can't with certain cards just makes them stupid. And I might even put it higher, but I'll just leave it where it's at for now. Number 5, YUGIOH Scarlet. I hate this card. This is the best extender in the game. And when I say extender, I mean cards that allow you to extend your combos and allow you to keep going plus off of your combos, right? So link 4, 2 monsters with different names. This card gains effects based on the number of materials used for it. Link summon, and you're always gonna have 4, right? And if it's plus 2, cards. This for the card you special summon or normal summon to a zone. This card points to is a 300 attack and defense. Useless effect. This one, plus 3. Once returned during your main phase, you can special summon 1 monster from your hand. That's already amazing. Being able to special summon some more from your hand, it's just plus. Because you special summon this monster, this part of special summon, I can search this now, search this to send this, blah 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 blah. Busted. But number 4, when this card links someone, you can draw 4 cards. Already broken. Then you place 3 cards in your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this last effect is absolutely insane. The first time I saw this, I was out of the game for a really long time. Like, I hadn't played for like a really long time. Like Master Rule 3. I was in Master Rule 3. I stopped playing for a while because I was just going through stuff and I just wasn't in Yu-Gi-Oh at that point. And I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh again after Master Rule 5 was a thing. And like so I didn't go through like that only being able to summon to the Link Zone. Thank God, because I would have been pissed and probably would have never came back. But yeah, this card is stupid. Being able to go essentially, it'll never be hit, right? It'll never be hit because even the ability to draw 4 cards, you go minus when you do this, because you have to link off 4 monsters to someone that's already minus 3, right? And then you draw 4 and then send 3 from your hand back. So let's say you have 4 cards on the field and 3 cards in your hand, right? You send the 4 cards to the graveyard to summon this out, right? Minus 4, you draw 4 and send 3, right? So you started with 7, now you have 5 cards, right? You have this card in your hand, you have this card and then 4 cards in your hand, right? So you went minus 2, right? So it's the thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! If a card goes minus, right? If you go minus off of a card, it's not inherently broken because you lost advantage, right? But the thing with Scarlet is that the cards you send back to your deck are cards either you want to have in your deck anyway, or cards you just weren't going to use, and you got better cards to use in your hand, right? So you're going to keep going plus off of whatever cards you draw, right? It's just dumb. This card's just plus. It's just plus, plus, and plus. It's super annoying, and I didn't use it up to a point, and then I started using this card, and this card's busted, right? This card's absolutely busted, and it's even worse when you play multiple copies of it. It's just stupid. This card should maybe not be banned, but it should at least be limited. Because when people start using it for like more than once, I mean, it might need to be banned. I don't know. This card's really strong. This card's really strong. I don't hear people talking about it, but this card's really strong, in my opinion. Like I said, this is all like subjective, but this card's really powerful. It might need to get banned, but it's not broken. Like it doesn't contribute to anything that's like busted, right? That's why it won't get banned, because it isn't the cause of anything. Like, it isn't the cause of like an infinite loop or something like that, or like an FTK. It's just a great extender to your combos, right? It's just really strong, so it probably won't ever get banned, right? Oh yeah. That being said, moving on. Number 4, Super Polymerization. Fuck this card. Like I said, spell speed 4 crap is annoying. Discard 1 card. You can summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from either field as fusion material. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card. Like I said before, no card should have this effect. Being able to just not respond period to a card is just dumb. It's not fair. Like here's just a card that you just can't respond to. Why? Because it says so. No, okay, well that's dumb. And it's one of the best forms of removal in the game, because you send in your, it doesn't target. First of all, it doesn't target. It's very good, because being able to, because some cards are immune to being targeted, and this is very good because it's you're pretty much able to remove your opponent's boss monsters. Like let's say they have a Boral, like a Savage Dragon, right, and Dragoon or whatever the fuck, and Appaloosa, right. You can get rid of multiple monsters on your opponent's field, right? Using this card alone. It's really strong. And then you can go into a really strong monster like yourself, like Venom Dragon, Starving Venom Dragon. Starving Venom Dragon. It's just really powerful, right? And what puts it over the top is the spell. If it wasn't spell speed 4, I wouldn't care as much, right? Because you could negate this effect, right? You could respond to it, but the fact that you can't respond to it just makes it inherently busted, right? This card should probably be this card should be banned. Like, I understand that there needs to be, like, especially in the game where a lot of the times where you can't respond to the crap your opponent does if you don't have the appropriate cards in your hand or on the field. Like, you need cards like this to be able to stop your opponent from going off, or to remove strong monsters like Terrariano, like Access Code, like Dragoon. You need cards like this to be able to remove them from your opponent's field, so you can keep playing, right? Because a lot of these cards are just auto wins. But I feel like this takes it over the top, right? With the spell speed 4, like how Kaiju's are, right? Like how Kaiju's are, right? You contribute your opponent's monster to some of the monsters in your field, right? That's nice and fair, because it's inherently what is it? It's I guess it's neutral, like card neutral, because you're getting rid of a card. I guess it's -1 because you're giving them a card in your hand, but it's a card you want them to have, right? You're getting rid of one of their monsters, give them a weaker monster that can't do anything, right? And this just amplifies that by being able to get rid of multiple monsters your opponent controls, and they can't respond to it. Absolutely busted card. Should probably be banned. Probably won't, because it's inherent, because of the inherent nature of it. But yeah. Moving on. Number 3. Predator Plant Verte Anaconda. I hate this card. It's just dumb. Being able to go into really powerful fusion monsters for free. Not for free, but just very easily. Like, you should never be able to do it. Link 2 effect monsters. You can target one face-up monster in the field. It becomes dark at the end of this turn. It's not great, but it's very useful, especially with the Super Polymerization. You can, like I said, you can use this to get Starving Venom Dragon, because it requires a dark monster specifically to fusion summon it. But yeah, that's not really the effect you care about. You pay 2,000 life points and send 1 fusion or polymerization normal or quick spell from your deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that spell's effect. When that card is activated, also you can activate summon monsters for the rest of this turn. So pretty much just to a really strong fusion monster for pretty much free, because 2,000 life points. You don't care about your life points in Yu-Gi-Oh unless your life points are at 0. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you have life points, you're in the game, right? And this card is just really easy to get, not only get out, but then to be able to get out another strong ass monster for basically nothing is just really strong. I probably would put this below Future Fusion, probably, because like I said, Future Fusion, I mean, not Future Fusion, I keep saying Future Fusion, Super Polymerization. I've probably been saying that, but I'm sorry if I did, but I mean Super Polymerization, right? Super Poly, I probably put this below it, now that I think about it, because you can stop this, right? You can't stop this. It's a very but in itself, it's a very strong card. It, I don't even know if it would get banned. I feel like it should, but I feel like it won't. Like, at least, because like I said, no one talks about like these cards. Like people talk about Alistair and stuff like this. But like no one talks about Sir YUGIOH, Predator Plan. These cards are so good. Like, I'm not saying that because a card's good that it should be banned, but cards that are really easy to just use and to give you so much advantage, they should at least be limited, if not banned, right? But yeah, 4. So yeah, this would be 4. Super Poly would be 3, and number 2, Red Eyes Dark Groom. Fuck this card. I use this card too, but this card's just this card should be banned. Honestly, this card is way too easy to get out. 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense, Dark Magician plus Red Eyes, Black Dragon, or Dragon effect monster. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Already amazing. The other player can target this card with card effects. Makes it even more amazing. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent with that monster attack. Original attack. You can use this effect number of times per turn up to the number of normal monsters use its fusion material. So pretty much you're always going to be able to pop 2 of your opponent's monsters and burn them for damage. And usually this card is enough to just get you game work, right? Because you can't. Well, I'm not even done with this effect. And then once per turn, you can discard a card or negate a card your opponent activates, right? And this card gains 1,000 attack. So so this is one of those things where like the longer you read this card, it just gets better and better and better and better. So it can be destroyed by card effects, already good. Not like amazing effect, but you can destroy by battle, right? It's not impossible to get rid of. Can't be targeted by any player. So okay, well, it's kind of make it harder to get rid of. It can destroy. It can pop monsters for damage to your opponent. Well, that's kind of like, okay, this card sounding pretty busted, huh? Well, it's not done. It can negate. It can negate. It can negate activation of a card for discarding a card. Well, okay, this card, fucking, oh my god, please nerf. This card's great, but not also that. When it does this, it gains 1,000 attack, and this isn't for like, oh, you gain 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. No, you gain 1,000 attack permanently. So this card, so it goes from 3,000 to 4,000, 5,000. This card gains 1,000 attack permanently. So literally, the longer you read this card, the stronger it gets. It's way too easy to get out. It's I wouldn't say it's a staple, but you see it in like almost every like so many meta decks just have this card in it for no reason, right? Like for the most of the time, it's like there's no reason for you to have this card, but some people just play it because it's so fucking good and it's so easy to get out. With cards like Verde Anaconda, it's just so fucking easy to get out that like, why wouldn't you play this card? This card's amazing. This is one of the best cards ever printed. This card's broken. It's one of the best boss monsters ever. Like, this card's way too good. It's so good. Like I said before, just because a card's good doesn't mean it should get banned. But this card should be banned because it has no drawbacks, right? Usually cards have drawbacks. Like even Sir YUGIOH, like you get plus, but you go minus, right? You go minus, and depending on what cards you draw, you might not be able to finish your combo the way you want, right? With cards like, like Alistair, if it gets negated, then your turn's much over unless you have the necessary resources to keep going your turn, right? Fucking evenly matched, you gotta have no cards on your field, right? Inferno Tempest is niche. Fucking these cards all have disadvantages to them. Dragoon has no disadvantage to it. It's just way too good. It's just way too strong, way too easy to get out. This card should be banned. It should be banned. Why is this a thing? Who made this card? You should be fired. Fuck you, Konami. Not really. I like this game, but yeah. This card's just super stupid. Oh yeah, number 2 and number 1. If you have, I'm sure people looking at this. Mystic Mind. Fuck this card. Whoever made this card is a degenerate. They should be castrated. They shouldn't be allowed to procreate because they're just gonna make water-headed, empty-headed, fucking drooling, insipid morons. Because whoever made this card is a moron. The most brain-dead ooga booga card I've ever seen in my life. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, your opponent cannot activate monsters or effects, or declare attack. If you control more monsters than your opponent does, then you cannot activate monster effects or declare attack. Once per turn, during the end phase, if both players control the same number of monsters, destroy this card. Okay, right? So this card is just win. If that didn't make sense to you, so basically what you do is you get this card out, typically on your opponent's turn with cards like Demise of the Land. I can't spell. Demise of the... Yeah, Demise of the Land. When your opponent pushes someone with the monster, activate one field spell directly from your card directly from your deck. Stupid. So just during your opponent's turn. Metaverse. Just straight up activate it. And this card like this. What? This card's at 1, right? Card like this. Activate. Take one field spell from your deck and just either activate it or add to your hand, right? So you can just get this card out very easily on your opponent's turn, and after that, they kind of just can't do anything. And it's just the most stally. It's the most stally, just anti-fun card I've probably ever seen in my entire life, right? And like I said, I'm not like a pro Yu-Gi-Oh player or anything, but I'm very casual. I play for fun, right? I don't play for like money. I don't even own any physical copies of cards, right? I play all this crap online, right? Like I'm not like super pro. I'm very casual, right? But even I can look at that card, in me with my casual like playing style, I can look at a card and just see that this card should just not exist, right? It's the most anti-fun, anti-meta, just anti-Yu-Gi-Oh. It's just anti-Yu-Gi-Oh. The most anti-Yu-Gi-Oh card I've ever seen in my life. And it's not banned. It's not limited. It's not even limited. This card should be banned. I don't know why it's not banned, because everyone hates this card. Unless you're a Mystic Mind player. And I've used it before. And I feel like a scumbag every time I use it. Every time I used it. I felt like a horrible person. Because I didn't feel like I was doing anything. I was just stalling until I could get some other alternative win condition, right? Like 20 plus turns, 30 plus turns of just like nothing. Of just like, okay, I don't have the cards on my hand to get my win condition a past turn. Bonus turn, well, a draw. Well, I can't use any monster effects. Can't attack them. Well, pass turn, right? When your turn comes, then you can burn for some damage or whatever. Final countdown, whatever the fuck. Okay, pass turn. And it's just like you keep doing this over and over again, and it's just these long, drawn out games of just nothing. You feel like, I don't know how anyone could do this and they just feel good about themselves. Like, yeah, dude, I won with Mystic Mind. I'm so good. It's like, no, you're a fucking scumbag. Honestly. But anyway, yeah, that's my list. For reference, what was it? Number 10, Drunk Speeder. Number 9, just like the Eldritch trap cards in general. It's really annoying. 8 was a kind of a duo of Ultimate Terrariano and Double Evolution Pill. 7, Alistair. Fuck this card. 6, Access Code Talker. 5, YUGIOH Skull Dread. 4, Predator Plant Verde Anaconda. 3, Super Polymerization. 2, Red Ash Dark Groom. And number 1, Mystic Mind. So those are the top 10 cards I feel are broken that aren't on the Forbidden List. And if you stick with me this entire video, I thank you. Have a wonderful day. You are a wonderful person. Like, subscribe if you're into that. And I will talk to you guys soon. Or later. Whatever the fuck I feel like making a video. But yeah. Goodbye.